What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video preview. Today we're going to take a look at Gollum slash Smeagol, and you can pre-order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. So I'll tell you why in Big Bad Toy Store. Because I bought ones directly from Asmus, and I don't know if you noticed their website, it doesn't have return policies or anything like that, because apparently they don't exist. Because I had problems with one of the figures that I bought, and they want me to change the arm or send it back to them, and you're going to pay for that. Unlike if you buy it from Big Bad, they'll take care of you. They'll even replace the figure or give your money back. So it's up to you whether you want to, save a little bit. The shipping is free mostly for the website. But if something happens, and this is Asmus, you're just going to have to deal with that. But yeah, that's just a tip. So let's take a look at this figure. So we got Smeagol and Gollum. So two different figures here. So there's three sets for this guy. So one is Smeagol, this guy right here. The one with sort of his face is a little bit more relaxed. You got Gollum, the one that's a little bit intense, and then you get the Deluxe, the luxury edition, which you get both, and you get that beautiful diorama base. I'm kind of torn into this because it's priced reasonably, right? It's for one figure. If you just want Gollum, it's $130. If you want Smeagol, it's $130, and you get both for $270. But you get that beautiful base, like I said, and I think you get a ring on top of that. But like the base is $10. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. However, do you really need two? That's the question. Because do I want to spend another $130? Because I'm fine with the Smeagol. As much as I want the other head sculpt, I wish they would have put out something for like $180. Add another $50, and you get one body with two head sculpt, because you want to interchange them every once in a while. I don't necessarily think that, even as a big collector of Asmus and Lord of the Rings, that I don't think I need to separate Gollum from Smeagol. That's just me. There might be collectors out there who want to display both, and I totally get that. But right now, the only way you can get the other head sculpt, one or the other, is to buy them separately, unless you buy the head sculpt specifically from eBay, for example, when somebody parts it out. But for how much, though? If they're going to sell it for $100, you might as well get both, because that means the body is only $30. Then, it doesn't make sense. Unless you can get one for like $50, then, I guess it might be worth it. But nonetheless, I think the price is still pretty good. Comparing it to, let's say, somebody like Rocket, who is arguably the same size, but this one has purse. Yeah, rooted hair, but the hair are really tiny. But there's some aspects here that I would say is, pretty cool. Looking at their description here, it says likeness of Gollum with rotatable eyeballs. That's expected, and that is something that is required, I'm assuming, with somebody like Gollum or Alita, which their eyes are so magnified that it just takes a lot of, attention. So just makes sense that it got to be rotatable. You can see the arms are seamless, and then some people might complain about the joints on the elbows, but this is Gollum that we're talking about here. He's pretty agile and articulated, so you can't go the route where it's seamless, because you take away that articulation aspect of it. Now, as far as the elbows are concerned, don't bend them like this for a long period of time, because I had something like 3-0. It's lasted me for like 5 years now. But, on picture-wise, yes, I do bend them. But display-wise, they're mostly, it's straightforward. Like their arms are pretty straight. Like this pose right here was pretty straight. This one is a little bent. And the good thing about this is, like, reading at this, you get two pairs of crouching legs and seamless legs as well. So you get crouching legs and seamless legs. So if he's standing up, it looks like his legs are, just straight with no joints. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty, because he does spend a whole lot of time with his knees bent. So that didn't sound right. But especially coming from Smeagol here, because you don't want that, kneeling in front of you. However, it is pretty cool. I like those features. For $130, I think it's a pretty fair price. At $270, basically you get two figures. That if you mess up one, you get a backup body. That's just how I'm gonna look at this now. I am gonna get most likely. I'm not certain here. Most likely I'm gonna get the luxury edition. Gollum. Who else? Sauron, Lurtz, and Azog are the guys, or Azog, whatever his name is, are the guys that will pull me back to buying Asmus figures again. Those guys. And this guy is definitely a must-have for me because, some people collect Star Wars, and I feel like even if this doesn't turn out to be like the prototype pictures here, as long as it's somewhat close, right? Somewhat close. Again, price plays a factor here. At $130, I got some leeway here. I got some room for, I wish this would have been better. Like those hands, the one that they showed earlier, like this hands. Look at the ball joint. It's like so light that it stands out. I wish that the hands is a little bigger, like on the wrist area, so it would sort of cover. And I've seen some company does that, third-party companies that, or 3-0 to be exact, that it is a bit longer, that only a portion of it shows. Like even with the Rambo, the ball joint is colored the same exact way as the arms, so it doesn't, it doesn't stand out too much. Now, as far as this base, for $10, if you get the luxury edition, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. And you can use this in different figures. If you have Avengers, from Hot Toys or other way, and you take photography, they can stand on that base. So if somebody parts this out, for example, for the luxury edition, I would have bought that base. But for $270, I like the fact that Asmus is including bases now, or this diorama pieces with their Aragorn, with Smeagol, and with Legolas, because you can use that. You don't have to use them just for the Lord of the Rings. You can use them in a variety of things, but yeah, do I wish that it's like 180 with two bodies and the luxury is like 190? Sure, I do. Because I feel like I'd pay $50 for this head sculpt. Like I said, I don't need a second body, but I guess for $270, that's the typical price of Hot Toys nowadays. Outside of those Shang-Chi figures, which is amazing, by the way. But as a Lord of the Rings fan and somebody who has already invested a whole lot of figures in Lord of the Rings, this is a must-have for me. Now, if you are a casual Lord of the Rings fans and, you don't trust Asmus, for example, with their quality, I can totally understand that. And maybe, Gollum Smeagol is not the one for you. Still, just buy the single pack for $130. I don't think you can go wrong, and you have a representation of Smeagol. And if something good comes along in the long run, then, pose him in a different manner. For $130, it's less than a third party. That's what I'm trying to say here. So thank you for watching, guys. If you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. When I play video games, you might want to make fun of me there. But thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.